Brighton SEO Thursday afternoon, talking to Nick Lafferty from Profound.
Hey
How
guys.
are you doing?
Super cool to have you.
Thank you for having me so much. I'm really grateful to be here, and I've been doing good. The show has been good for us so far. This is our first time having a booth at Brighton. We've been twice before, but just to speak on stage, and so it's nice to have our own booth and presence, and get to be here talking with you guys too.
And you're speaking tomorrow as well, right?
Yes, I speak tomorrow at 3:30. My talk is about how SEOs can become marketing engineers, which at Profound we think this is the role of the future. We define a marketing engineer as someone who builds and controls AI systems and AI agents, and so we think SEOs are best positioned to do this right now. And the super technical ones, who have been doing Python for years and years, I think are super, well positioned to become more of an engineer and lean into the moment that AI has created for all of us right now.
Yeah. Wow.
So if I'm not into Python, what should I do? Then?
Really, with Claude Code, you can do anything right now, and so it's everything from you can build an agent that monitors all your competitor pages and see when they update their versus page, Profound versus whoever. I can get an alert that says, hey, this competitor changed this or this, and so I can make sure to stay on top of those things. And with Claude Code, you can do all of that stuff, and Claude will pick the language for you. Yeah. It'll pick the system, all of it, and so I think it's almost you can become programming language agnostic and just let the tool decide what to build, and then SEOs become orchestrators of all these systems.
Well, how do you do this without going bankrupt? Because I think I read an article last week. What was it? Uber. I think they spent 4 million or billion. Either way, a lot of money. Their entire AI budget for the entire year.
Wow.
In the first 3 months on Claude Code and other LLMs.
Yeah. I think that's maybe where. Companies need to keep an eye out for cost. In our Slack channel today, our team's talking about this already, and we're looking at what salespeople and account managers, the correlation is to their AI token usage. And we found that the more AI tokens a salesperson uses, the higher likelihood they are to meet their quota right now. And so it's all this stuff. Also, this stuff is very kind of cutting edge, but we're seeing correlation there. And so if that's true, then spend away.
That's also ROI, right?
Yeah, exactly. You hit your quota, you making direct revenue for the business.
Exactly.
Yes, take all the AI tokens you need. Can you double your quota? Let's go.
But how do you? I think for a lot of people, when they first start out with things like this, they just give a random prompt, to write me a response email in ChatGPT or something like this. Mm-hmm. How can you take a person from write me a response email in ChatGPT to coming up with a potential idea of okay, this is something I could automate, or it could support me in my sales process or my SEO process? How can you take one person from that very early start to the next level? Yeah,
I think what you described is a level 1 AI user, of someone who just uses it to write content or emails. I think level 2 is you've identified a repetitive process you're doing over and over again, and then you use AI to try and just automate one process. And then level 3 would be you've automated 3, 4, 5 different repetitive processes. For example, on our marketing team, we run a weekly stand-up where everyone fills out one slide in Google Slides. It's what'd you do this week? What's coming next? What are some recent wins and where are you blocked? And so we've built a skill in Claude Code that connects to our calendars, our Slack, our Asana board, our email, and pulls all of that info, and then it creates our slide automatically. And so you run the skill, it completes in a minute or two, and then you go check, validate, make some tiny edits. And so that's just one example of a thing that we do every week that we've automated.
Doesn't that disrupt a little bit the thought process here? Because if this really sounds to me like a reflection moment in how you're, as a human being, operating in your business.
Sure, yeah.
If that reflection moment goes away to just does this sound reasonable, yes or not?
Yeah.
Isn't the quality of the people in the business degrading at one point?
I think it's why you need to have the human still review. Don't just run the skill and don't look at the output, basically, and reflect, and you become more of an editor instead of a content creator at that point. I think that still has value in reflection too, to make sure that ultimately it's me in the meeting as a human delivering this update, and so I still need to be able to be confident in whatever was in the slide. But if it saves me 30 minutes, then I'm supportive of that for sure. Yeah.
So it's more like efficiency
Yeah.
instead of, but you can also use it to improve quality, right?
Yes.
For instance, sales guys, if they use tokens, they have a higher ROI. So how
Exactly.
do you do that then?
Yeah, I think it comes down to automating some of the repetitive tasks, so then you can do the stuff that humans are really good at, which is the creative work, the taste, some of the like account research on someone. And so if I'm in sales and I'm working in accounts, then I want to still have that personal touch to where maybe I can go look them up on LinkedIn, see that they just had a birthday, and send them a highly personalized note that AI might not be able to do with this much thoughtfulness as a human could do. And so I think it's what you do with the time savings that is where the real ROI can be held to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you identify a potential real time saver? Because I think you can save time by doing something, but you can also just lose track trying to create a potential skill or somewhere like this. And in the end, doubling the time you should be spending on this normally because you just went way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that myself where I've gone down the coding rabbit hole to like automate something, and 2 hours later I could have done the thing like 5 times, you know? And so,
Exactly.
I think that's why we're promoting this idea of the marketing engineer so much, is that this person becomes a centralized AI expert, and so they can intake requests, become the AI expert on the marketing team, and then they can go build with efficiency and then give time back to the other people on the team without the whole team being kind of sucked into their own AI rabbit holes. And so that's part of my job now. Like, my job title is literally founding marketing engineer at Profound. And so I'm figuring out, how do I build the systems? How do I upskill my team? How do I train them on this? But ultimately, how do I build a thing that can save them all time? And I become like the judgment of that.
So a couple of years ago, everybody needed to be a T-shaped marketer.
Yeah.
Everybody now needs to become a marketing engineer. How can me, if I was in university right now, how can I prepare myself for a future as a marketing engineer?
Yeah. So Profound, we have Profound University. You teed me up perfectly for this plug, and you had no idea. I thank you for it. We've created our own training program of how people can become marketing engineers. I teach 2 classes. I teach a class about APIs. I think APIs are one of the single most impactful things a marketer can learn how to use. It's this super scary developer thing of API, what is it, how do you use it? But once you understand it, it's such an unlock for marketers. And so we have like 15 different lessons in this marketing engineer course, 100% for free available. And so that's what we think is like the best starting point. And then step 2 is just go build.
It's Profound only, or is it in the market for everyone?
It's agnostic to Profound. Like we'll show you a bit of how to build things in Profound, but it's also completely outside of the product that we build and sell to. And so it's for anyone. It's 100% free. And we coded the entire platform ourselves. People go and look at it and like, oh, what CMS, what system did you use? It looks so nice. And
just code.
We built it ourselves in-house completely, which is kind of cool.
So Profound is doing a little bit of the HubSpot playbook.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, there's value in education and teaching people, and like I think that's true for SEO and for inbound, and now it's true for an AEO and AI search too.
And why is the SEO specialist the most suitable one for this, and not the developer?
Yeah.
Because he lacks marketing skills or something?
Yes. Yeah, I think you really need the marketing context. Like, that is much harder to learn. I think marketers who learn programming are much more like adept to kind of navigating this feature. Because coding...
The other way around, not.
It's harder. Like, it's hard to use Claude to learn how to be a marketer. It's very easy to learn how to use Claude to become a developer and to make something. And you need marketing knowledge and you need business context. And I think SEOs are super well positioned to do that. They have all of that in spades, plus a ton of technical knowledge too about how search works. I think worst case scenario, you get a developer who goes in and has this great idea to create 1,000 programmatic SEO pages, with like AI slop. That's like worst case scenario.
So a simple context prompt, you're now an SEO with 600 years of experience.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it. I think you need an SEO who knows better. You need someone who knows that you shouldn't go make AI slop and go pump out 1,000 pages, and you need that experience.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You excited for the talk tomorrow?
I'm really excited. Yeah, I mean, we're excited to be here. I think the audience in Brighton is amazing. The stage is a little intimidating too.
You are in Auditorium 1, or?
Yes, Auditorium 1. Yeah, which it's where I want to be. Like, I live for these moments.
Yeah.
I've gone through a couple of public speaking coaching sessions too ahead of this. Like, we take it seriously. I take it seriously. And so I'm really excited for it. Yeah.
So you're going to teach everybody tomorrow to become a marketing engineer?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is I'm going to tell people that you can become a marketing engineer, and in a lot of cases you probably already are. Like, you're doing all of the things, you're building all these connected systems, and I think labeling it gives you a chance to show your leadership team that you're forward thinking and that you're not just thinking about old ways of doing search, and that you're kind of leaned into this new moment and how search is changing buyer behavior and discovery. I think ultimately it can lead to people getting promoted, getting raises, succeeding in their careers more, as every executive is figuring out, how can I make sure my team is AI native? And if you're a marketing engineer, you're just kind of a de facto AI native person. And I think that's powerful.
What was for you then a bit of the aha moment within Profound, thinking to yourself, look, this is the way forward. We should be the leader in this space, make the educational content.
Yeah, I think it comes from a place of the industry is moving so quickly that, like, every couple of weeks it seems that a new AI model drops. Like, Anthropic will just release Opus 4.7 on like a random Tuesday. And so we kept having our customers come to us and they were asking, who should own Profound at this company? What attributes do they have? What does their job look like? And we kept coming to the same conclusion that you need someone who understands marketing, but is also technical and has a bit of engineering chops. And we have our own agentic product called Profound Agents, but also we think that marketers will use all these tools like Claude Code to automate these tasks anyway. And so it's a perfect combination of what we've been hearing from the market and what we see too.
And from a Profound perspective, what are the most important things to get visibility in AI?
Yeah, I think it comes down to having good content that's still written for humans. Like, that's will always be the case. We're also finding that fresh content gets cited a lot more. We've done an analysis of across our whole data set, and pages that were created or updated in the last 13 weeks had 50% more citations than older content. And so I think SEOs and marketing engineers can think about, how do you keep your content more updated than in the past? I think that's a really strong angle to use, but still with good SEO and good content foundation below it too.
Nice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. What is most interesting? Can I reverse the interview for a bit? What's one of the most interesting things y'all have learned or talked about at Brighton so far?
Well, we haven't seen any talks yet. Because
He's been here the whole time?
Standing behind the microphone.
No, I think making the difference as a brand.
Yeah.
I think we talked to John Ershaw. He talked about that. Not relying on the top 10 or the brands that you see in ChatGPT, scrape them and creating copy that adds no value, but creating copy that makes a difference based on what you have as a brand, like specialists, reviews, own data, because it can be copied, then it makes you get cited in ChatGPT.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the same thing. Like Profound, we're kind of a data company too. We send millions of prompts every day. We have like 34 billion AI citations in our database. We let our customers connect their CDN to us, and we'll download all the bot logs too. We have 74 billion AI search caller logs. And so our early marketing strategy was, let's take all of our data and do research and then talk about it on LinkedIn, on the blog. And that's still...
Which makes sense, I think.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. It's some of our most cited content right now, and having original research and data is one of the last moats I think that companies have, alongside having a strong brand presence too.
Yeah, but it also makes it more marketing and brand, and I think that is really a good thing for SEOs, because SEO like 6-7 years ago was quite a bit boring, about techniques. Some content, but not
everybody was ticking off the same boxes.
Yeah, not in being the best in your cluster or in your topic, and that's the case right now. So it's better for us.
And I really like the fact that you use the term content mode.
Yeah,
I think indeed, if your content can be replaced by, if somebody else, if you would have a website and you remove all branding and someone would read a piece of content, would they still recognize it as your piece of content?
Yeah.
I think it's super important here.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I think brand is also huge right now. We had 2 big brand moments for the company a couple months ago. We announced our Series C funding round in April, and then we did a full takeover of the Union Square subway station in New York City, like profound brand ads everywhere.
That's what a Series C allows you to do.
Yeah, for sure. You know, well, you have to lean into the moment, you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
And we saw a massive spike in our visibility right when all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
Despite like those aren't traditional SEO tactics. So
No.
Series C announcement was like all LinkedIn and social media. The out-of-home stuff was literally just physical billboards in New York, yet those still correlated with us being more visible in AI search. And so this is a moment where SEOs can kind of think outside the box a bit too. It's not just like technical optimization.
And I think with a lot of the technical stuff happening out there right now, for example, years ago you would maybe put like an ad in a magazine, and you could include your company phone number on there, but everybody would still phone the same phone number, as you couldn't really measure. And now with voice over IP, you can create 1 million different phone numbers, put different phone numbers in different magazines, so you know exactly which ad or which billboard converted better, because you can see a different phone number being phoned, for example. Or in your case, you could add different QR codes on different billboards, which just have a different UTM tag at the end.
Yeah.
So you can measure things like this, because I think
That's conversion.
Yeah.
But the brand
yeah, sure, but you still need to. I think branding by itself should also at one point just saying, look, we have a visibility. Everybody knows what kind of crap the ratings on TV are. How many people are watching a TV show? Nobody knows. Everybody thinks it's fake. Yeah. So you need to measure something to at least get. Your Series C, no offense, but your Series C will run out at one point. Yeah. So you potentially need a Series D or be profitable at that time.
Yep.
So you need to make sure that you have some form of accountability. You can't just spend everything in the hope to create a brand. You still need to figure out, okay, these things are helping us to create our stronger brand than these type of things.
Yeah, and that stuff shows up. It shows up in branded search too. And so like we see branded search spikes in New York City and SF, where we've run a lot of these campaigns too. And we know that as marketers, we know the attribution there is kind of murky at best. Still the best thing that we do that I'm surprised every like SaaS company doesn't do is ask a "How did you hear about us?" question
at the end of the
on the form. Yeah,
so
I'm
it's
surprised.
A game changer.
It's massive. Like I know that a certain percent of our leads come from LinkedIn because I asked that question on our field. It's open text, it's required, and you have to type at least 5 characters into my field. It was something I added my first week at Profound, and now I have all this data of how all of our leads found us going back to May of last year, which is a rich data set that you can't really get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good perspective.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
I think we have one last question for you.
Yeah, the question which you asked to all of our guests here.
Okay.
Yeah. And you are in SEO quite a while?
Yes.
I know.
Cool.
What is your biggest SEO fuck up in the past?
This is a great question. So this is a bit of a personal answer. So I run my own personal blog.
Yep.
And for a long time, I had a whole content library of Notion template listicles. I got very into Notion around COVID. Wanted to work there. They were only hiring people in SF. I lived in Austin and just couldn't make it work. And so I was like, fine, I'll make my own listicles. And then I learned that I could put affiliate links in them. And I started making a lot of money doing it. And for a long time, if you Googled free Notion templates, I was number 1. Notion was like number 2 or number 3. And so like my little personal blog was outranking this like massive SaaS company. It worked great until the helpful content update came and just obliterated all of my articles, all of my listicles, because ultimately the content wasn't helpful. It was just me stuffing affiliate links as much as possible. And I optimized my pages for revenue for me, not for the user experience.
So then you have to get a paper round again?
Yeah, and so like I got crushed and I still haven't been able to like work my way back to it. So I had this amazing affiliate business I thought could sustain me and like I could build a whole like true business around it. And then Google came through and was like, nah, man, like get out of here. So
Not today.
Not today. And so I still haven't been able to find my way back up there. And so it was like $10,000-$15,000 a month of affiliate revenue that just kind of like overnight. I was like, oh, I guess I need a normal job now. out, you know. So I think like losing that, like the golden goose, is probably my biggest fuck up, to be honest.
But then it ended up with you being at Profound and doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, the universe blessed me in that way, so it all worked out. So I'm super grateful. Yeah,
Cool.
Nice, good
awesome,
story.
cool.
Hey, thanks for your time,
Thank you very
Nick,
much.
and good luck tomorrow with your talk.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, and thank you for having me too.
No problem.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.